Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about slides and specifically about making sure that you get a slide that is optic cut and has optic posts or bosses as they're called, or studs that will insert into the optic. Okay, let me give you guys a close-up of this one over here. Put the camera down. All right, so you see how those, this is at the screw holes. You see how that sticks up? Well, that actually inserts into the optic. Okay. So when I put the optic on, okay, I have to actually press it down. Okay. Now this is a brand new one. I've never had a, haven't had an optic on this yet. But basically these posts are designed to take the stress on the recoil, so that stress is not transferred to the screws. Now this one over here, this one is from Brownells. This slide, this whole frame has done about 10,000 rounds plus. All right. I don't know what that discoloration is, but whatever. But it's got, so here's the thing. I've done a video on this one over here where I took this off because I wanted to upgrade this. Focus the camera again. I wanted to upgrade this, and basically when you push this down in there, right? Okay, that thing is fixed. You push on this, like I have to like yank this off. I have to pull this off to get this. There it goes. So there's effort involved in getting this thing off, and that's ideal. Okay. In fact, when the first time after this thing had done some 8,000 rounds, I upgraded. I went from a 507C to a 507 ACSS, and this thing had been on there for so many rounds. I got a video posted. Look up Brownells optics, Brownells slides hold 0. You'll see me using this mallet and hitting the optic to get it off after I remove the screws. Okay, that's what you want from your slide. You want it to really hold that optic in place. You want all the stress transferring to these studs over here, not to the screws. Okay, because what happens is when people get slides that don't have these posts, like this one over here, right? See how that's flat? It's got a flat surface over here. What happens is the only thing holding the optic to the slide is the screws. And here's the thing, here, if I take this optic over here, that's an armor cut. If you move this back and forth, you'll hear and you'll see a little bit that there's some wiggle. Okay. All right, you can hear that. All right, so this one came from Armor Ally. This one over here came from AIM Surplus. Okay, so you see how that wiggles back and forth. And they say that these things have tight tolerances. No, they're gonna move, which means that force is gonna transfer to the screws. Now I knew this buying these. The reason why I bought these is I bought these for the artwork, right? They came with the artwork. They were cheap. They were $150. These 120 to 150. I don't remember exactly where. So I got these really cheap. So I said, what the hell? Give them to me, and I ordered them. But these are mainly going to be safe queens. Okay, these are going to go on a pretty frame, and they're mostly going to sit in the safe. Okay, they're not going to do 10,000 rounds like these two have done over here, right? Both of these guns have Brownell slides on them with those optic posts. Both of these have done 10,000 rounds or more. Okay, and they hold 0 through all that. Now there is another design like I've got here on this. This is a, what do you call this? This is a True Precision for the Glock 43. Let me point this down. All right, so this one's got the posts in the front over here, right? See how they're not quite as deep. Now this is going on a 507K. 507K. All right, so that's the smaller optic. Okay, so those will work as well. And I had this on a few of my slides. They seem to work pretty good. Although I don't think they work as good as the ones that like really insert in there. And the way I know is when I go to take these off, these come off right away, as opposed to the other ones where I gotta really yank them off, because they're so deep in there. But this is another style. This works fine. I'm glad that True Precision changed the design, because they used to also have these little studs in the back. The problem is that the hollow studs, they don't have holes in the back because the electronics are back here. So I used to have to Dremel them down. They kind of realized that everybody's buying hollow studs these days, and they've switched. They only put the posts in the front. However, I recommend they should go to this other design. I mean, now the screws, the screws end up being a little bit smaller on these, but because you've got that steel that really inserts up in there, I think that this is a much stronger design, because even though the screws are a little bit thinner, the stress is not going to the screws. It's transferring to the metal that's part of the slide, and that's the reason why I also tell people. Sometimes people say, should they, they'll tell me that they bought a factory gun, and they'll ask me if they should get it cut to take an optic. And if you get it cut, all you're going to get is this, right? They're going to cut it, and it's not going to have the studs that insert. And first of all, you're going to end up paying probably $200 for that, right? So you're paying more, right? Because these slides are $150 or less, right? So you're going to end up paying more for less quality, because you're not going to get the studs that insert. So do not do that. I mean, even if you have a factory, let's say a factory Glock, you can buy yourself one of these slides. You can pull out all your factory internals, and pull out your barrel and transfer everything over to the slide, which will be a better slide that can take the optic. Okay, so this is really I consider this the most important part of the gun. I mean, after reliability, the next most important thing is the seeing part. Okay, and the optic helps you see better. It helps you get on target faster. It works 100 times better. And I absolutely love these ACSSs. I think every see how you got that big circle to help you guide you to the center. So you can shoot this one-handed. This will work in the dark. This will work in daylight. Right, this is, and you still got your front sights there, so you can get your co-witness. Okay, this is the standard. Okay, and I said this before, that it's like 15 years ago people were questioning whether ARs or optics were better, right? And it was like kind of 50-50. Nowadays everybody knows that all AR-15s should have optics on it. If they don't, they're either considered antique or junk. Okay. Pistols now are kind of where ARs were like 10-15 years ago. 15 years from now, if a pistol does not have an optic on it, it will be considered either antique or junk. Okay, so do not buy guns that will not take optics. Okay, specifically these hollow sums, the 507s. Don't buy anything else. I mean, I tell you guys, I shoot lots of guns. Money is not the limiting thing, right? If Trijicon, for example, made better optics, I would swap these all out and get all Trijicons. Okay, but they don't. Okay, I don't want a Trijicon on my guns. I want a Holosun. It works better. I use these guns to train people, and I can see that new shooters learn faster, shoot better with these optics. Okay, like this specifically, this Holosun, this 507. Because I'm way behind the camera, and just looking through the lens, like kind of like in a weird angle, I can still find that reticle and put it where I want to put it. So this is the future. This is the future of pistols. Okay. Yeah, make sure that when you buy your slides, make sure there are optic cut for an RMR, right? Because they make other ones. They got like burst cuts. They've got they got other cuts out there. I actually, early on, I bought a burst one by mistake. I kind of, I'm still with it, but I'll never do that again, because that kind of limits my options. Okay, that one's got I think a 6 MOA circle. It is nowhere as easy or as fast to find and shoot as these 507 ACSSs. They do have a couple other footprints out there. I'm telling you, stick to the RMRs. Stick to the Holosuns, particularly. They work good. They're good with their warranties. If they do, I think I probably got more than 20 of these. I mean, you're always going to have, with electronics, you're always going to have some failure rate. So I think out of all the ones that I have, I got at least 20. Only one has gone bad on me. And the thing that went bad, it basically the sleep shake awake function stopped working. Okay, the optic was working otherwise. It's just that I had to change the battery like every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks. But the optic was still working. It was just, it wasn't powering down when I was putting it in the safe. And there is a function that you check to make sure that it's on. You hold it down for like 10 seconds. You make sure that you see like only one blink, if I remember. So it was set to go to sleep, but it wasn't going to sleep. So yeah, there's always going to be some failure rate with electronics, but it is really low with Holosons. And when when it goes bad, you gotta you'll get it fixed under warranty. Now with the ACSS, it actually has to go back to primary arms because they're the ones that are responsible for that. Even though Holosun makes the electronics, I'm gonna do a separate video on that. But the main thing here is make sure your slides have the optic posts. Right? If you buy ones that don't, like I did over here, and I did it intentionally, right, knowing this is art, this is artwork, this is not a shooter. Okay, this is not going to do serious shooting. Okay, these are the guns that do the serious shooting, right? The ones that have the those posts that insert all the way up into the optics. So hope you guys found this video useful. I have talked about it in the past, but there's a lot of new people that are coming into this, and I want to make sure that they're buying the right thing that's gonna last for a long time, and they're gonna be able to grow into it, and and they'll scale up as their skills and the way they use the guns progresses. Okay, so thanks for watching. Make sure you guys are following me on on the uncensored platforms. On Odyssey, I am Pocono Tactical. On Rumble, I am Pocono Guns. Also on YouTube, my backup channels are Absolute Guns, Pocono Shooting, and also Safa. Talk to you all soon.